Air Force Pararescue, Tsunami Inbound by James A. Shaw. Chapter 21. Major Foxglass.
I can see that Kodiak and the survivors did not like the MREs.
Damn, I am hungry.
Kodiak gives me a look that says the MREs will not suffice for breakfast, and that he needs his coffee.
Is that really all we got?
That's all we got.
Hopefully that ship has some chicken biscuits and coffee. It's like a prisoner exchange. We give them a survivor and they give us coffee.
Sounds like a fair trade to me. I decide to make some rounds and check on the survivors, because if I am still hungry, then they must be hungry. I go over and check on Mr. Rustikov, who is wrapped in the emergency blanket with his cat. As I approach, I see his head is swollen. He lays flat on his back. His injuries look problematic. Urgent medical care is needed. I speak with an investigative mindset. Good day, Mr. Rustikov. He glances up and his eyes rocks back and forth. How are you feeling? His left ear has 2 cuts, and there's a tinge of blue around his lips. Cuts and scrapes cause him to moan painfully as he tries to sit up. Mr. Rustikov looks around before locking eyes with me. He speaks slowly, but replies,
"The pain is pinching, but it is temporary. Have you any food?"
His mind seems to wander as I reply. He looks around and appears to be a little lost. His eyes dance around like a butterfly in the wind. He returns his attention to me and asks,
"Can you repeat that one more time?"
"Yes, sir, I am sorry. We just have Air Force food for breakfast. I do have a protein bar, but not much else. Is there anything I can do to help with the pain? How about your injuries? Can one of us take a look?"
"No, I am fine. No need to review these old injuries. Here, let me sit up. That will help my breathing. I heard from others what you did. Thank you. Sorry to cause such a burden."
"You are not a burden. I am just glad you are okay. But can I get you anything?"
"There is nothing better than a good book. Don't have one, I guess."
Mr. Rustikov gives off an outgoing smile and grins with his many wrinkles. He reaches out his hand and grabs a hold of mine. He hacks a horrible cough and takes a deep breath, as if he struggles for air. He then, in humor, adds,
"Just some more good years and stories, like the one I have with you, to complete this wonderful adventure I have lived."
I give the biggest grin. It could probably be seen from space. In this moment of companionship, I feel his kind and warm heart. I form the courage and ask, I do want to inquire from you the answer to a random question.
"Captain Glass, what might be your question?"
"Oh, I am a major."
"Sorry."
Ouch. No, I am sorry. That was an automatic reproach. Forgive me. Don't worry about my question. I turn to walk away from my embarrassing response. Mr. Rustikov coughs harshly with a gurgle in his throat, causing me to pause. He proceeds to say,
"Come now. Ask me there, young man. I have not many days in this body. If I do not heal, well, come as it may. So, do you have a question?"
"Yes, but it is not important. But if this question brings you good health, then my question is simply to know how come Rustikov sounds Russian, but you are Alaskan native, I presume."
"I am from a native village called Old Harbor. Remember that Alaska was bought from Russia. My family adopted the last name of Rustikov from one of the Russian fur traders. Are you Catholic?"
"No."
"Neither am I. I am Russian Orthodox, but one of the first Christians to die for the Great Commission was Saint Peter the Alute. Saint Peter the Alute was captured by Spanish soldiers and taken to a priest to convert to Catholicism. He refused to convert. The priest ordered Peter's toes and fingers cut off. The soldiers cried out for Peter to convert. On the last finger, Saint Peter the Alute lost the battle and cried out mercy. Please, let me have one finger. The priest showed none. Unless conversion took place, Saint Peter the Alute held his tongue from conversion, and so the priest devised something more sinister.
The conversation suspends in the air, and Mr. Rustikov looks like he might just fall asleep. I say out loud to wake him, "Well, what happened?"
Yes. They removed Saint Peter the Alute's stomach while he was still alive. Better to save a lost soul through earthly torture than to burn in hell, was the priest's thinking.
Did he ever break?
No. He held his tongue from converting. You see, your faith with God is not easy, especially when the crowds tell you that you are wrong. How many times do you think that maybe Saint Peter the Alute questioned his own faith and thought maybe he had it wrong? Just like the ancient past or the present, crowds will tell you that you are wrong.
I look at the old man. His genuine regard for my well-being is sincere. I understand what he is trying to do. He is just trying to help out. I look him deep in the eyes and express gratefulness. Thank you. Your words are impactful, and this story of your ancestors is quite amazing. You know, maybe in another life we could have been in different seats, you where I am and me where you are. I offer up my hand. He leans in with his hand, and we gently shake.
Then I have a question for you. Young man, how do you like the name Fox?
It's unique. Not many others, that is for sure. But really, my father named me after George Fox, the founder of Quakers. I am a Quaker too. Even got Kodiak to go with me a couple of times.
I thought Quakers were pacifists.
We are. But for me, there is a balance between the military and being a pacifist. I found that balance in what I do as a helicopter pilot. They blow 'em up and we sew 'em up. Good guy or bad guy, I am for nonviolence.
Fox, you carry a spiritual name. You should sit and listen. Maybe you will hear your ancestors guide you in your direction and balance. I can see your discernment to follow the earthly spirit is strong. Try it and listen.
I give him a big grin. I'll try, I promise. I change my thoughts as I see the twins approaching with urgency. Ying calls out,
Major Glass, sir.
I pat Mr. Rustikov on his shoulder. I notice the initials, USAF, on the blanket he uses. The twins reach me and weirdly look at Mr. Rustikov.
He dead.
No, he is not dead, just tired. Now what is it that you twins need?
Ship. Is baby ship?
What? We fought away.
It is to give us space. We need a slow descent.
What descent? Nobody talked. I thought we would just be dropped over the side onto the boat. That is why we moved the basket, right?
Ying fan, I will explain in better details here in a minute. If you like, you can help me. There are some things I need to do.
I don't think we would be of any help. I think you got this.
You help that. We go.
Fan and Ying walk off in sibling rivalry. They argue about something. I feel a sense of both stress and relief, as the next hour will be spent in preparing a zip line and rigging seats for the survivors. I start to unpack the rear of the helicopter to get a sense of every item I have on hand. In doing so, I come across Kit's military notepad and a book bag. I set them aside, as I plan to hand-deliver the notepad to Kit's mother, if she is alive. I also make a mental note to get Kit's knife and sheath back from John before he departs. The knife belonged to Kit's father. I see Fan and Ying Ying walking back to me. I get busy working and laying out ropes. I hope to stay busy, so that I am not interrupted. They walk up and in unison ask,
"What is this?"
"There will be a zip line from here to the boat. My only concern is the descent, but I have a plan for that. Would you like to help?"
Do they have restrooms, food, beds on this boat?
"Not sure. You will see."
Wait, are you not coming?
"Probably not. Kodiak and I will stay with the helicopter."
Then, who take care of me sister?
"Well, there are many here who can take care of you. There is Kay and Mary.
Yes, but they occupied with their own children.
How about John? Would you like for me to speak to him on your behalf? He is an adult. He can look out for you."
Yes, please.
Over the next 30 minutes, I rapidly build a couple of Swiss seats, utilizing climbing rope that was part of the survival kits in the back of the helicopter. I see Kodiak walking around and talking as if he is a politician. He is not helping me in this complex project. A deep sense of jealousy and anger builds inside. He laughs and jokes. The ladies eat it up. He is the life of the party here. It might have started when he brought back the berries for dinner last night. I just cannot place my finger on it, why they love him so. As I tie one of the Swiss seats, using about 5 feet of rope, Maggie and Luca walk over.
Hello, sir.
"Hello, Maggie. Hello, Luca. Hope all is well. So, what can I do for you two?"
Our mother has instructed us to help you.
"Ah, well then. I don't have anything at the moment. Maybe come back later or listen to the radio." The children look downtrodden. Their faces make me feel guilty, so I look around and find something. "Well, there is one thing you can do."
What's that?
How about you take this tape measure, along with these pieces of cloth, and tie cloth knots along the cable line in intervals of 10 feet.
How far?
From here to the basket on the ledge, but be careful. Don't get too close.
Okay.
Okay.
They make quick pace, as it seems to be no problem for them to tie cloth knots to the cable line out to the basket, just stopping short. I yell out, "That will do, no more."
Is there anything else?
"No, but when you walk back to your mother, tell her thank you again." The siblings take off to their mother. They pass by Kodiak, who mingles his way to my work spot. In front of me is ropes and harnesses. They are precisely laid out in fashion and neatness. Kodiak steps over the harness like a cat stepping around water. He arrives at the helicopter and leans against the doorframe, watching as I work. He cocks his head to the side and looks up into the sky. His mustache fluffs in the wind. I speak up and state, "Yes, Kodiak."
Do you think we will get something for this? You know, like maybe a medal. I really could use another one. I mean, it cannot hurt, right?
"I don't know. Maybe."
Just thinking. With the promotion board coming up, a medal from this rescue mission could really play into my favor. Most of my stuff happened overseas, but this mission, well, surely we have to get something.
Someone would have to write it up.
You would have to be a witness.
"Sure, Kodiak. I can write something up if we get to that point."
By the way, what do you think of the mom and her personality?
"Who? Mary? You mean the mom who was married and lost her husband yesterday?"
Yeah, and?
"What is there to think about?"
Well, you know, she has a great personality and a really great smile. Not sure about the kids, though.
Bro, seriously. So, you are here asking me if she is hot? Really?
Calm down there, Glass.
No, you need to listen. Your lead-in is what do I think about her personality. Look, nothing about this is right. You just want to bet her down. I got it. She is cute and very attractive for a mom. But this topic is insensitive at the moment, don't you think?
Come on, buddy. Just talking. It's guy talk. I love all the ladies. You do not always have to be looking at it from right or wrong. Just having a conversation, man. I mean, she does have one great personality, right? Right? Besides, don't you love it when girls say, "I'm single"?
If you mean she is super easy to talk to, then yes. But bro, just come out and say it. You think she is hot? You think all these babes are hot? Whether it's the twins, Mary, Kay, probably Maggie. Each one tingles your fancy. I would probably agree with you. It is just that I am over here working, and you are over there flirting. Kodiak, I will say this about you, I think. Sometimes you are better at telling a lie than the truth about who you really are.
Okay, I will let you win this one. You are right. It still does not make up for the fact that you can't fly. Looks like you got this.
Kodiak beams again with his own cutting joke. He slaps the side of the helicopter with his hands and stands up straight. He looks down at my masterpiece of work. Without any pause to see if I respond, he quickly disappears, like a magician on his grand, culminating act. Kodiak then reappears in the center of the group around the survivors to steal the show. Well played, Kodiak, well played. Oddly enough, while Kodiak has changed over the years, his outgoing personality is still there. We were undergraduate college roommates. The first time we met was during dorm move-in day. He arrived rocking out a Greenpeace t-shirt and asking about my views on climate change. What a weird day, even looking back. I showed up with my parents, who, in their overtly loving behavior, did not give me any space. But, when meeting Kodiak, listened to Kodiak's bizarre conspiracy theories. My parents were also quite taken aback by his impulsively asking them what car they drove and if they recycled. I believe Kodiak was jealous of me in those days, as my parents did everything for me. From paying my tuition and giving me a car, to always calling every day, I got whatever I needed, along with many unnecessary wants, like the newest cell phone or private tutors. Kodiak, on the other hand, had no real support. His situation was earned with a scholarship in math, but it was not easy for him in school, as he spent most of his life in foster care. He did grow up in London, but his parents were never citizens of the U.S., if I remember, which caused many problems after they died. He never spoke of those years with me, ever. As roommates, though, we seemed to hit it off. We were awkward, at first, around one another, but we just understood each other in an odd sort of way. The semester continued as normal, but everything changed on a cold, crisp fall day before the weather turned to snow, when we met a girl by happen chance. It was nothing more than a random fire drill, whereby we filed outside into an open parking lot by the library. There we were, hundreds of college students, waiting to shuffle back inside. It only took a few minutes, and most of us were ready to ditch class. Kodiak and I texted, met up, and left for Starbucks. We found other students doing the same, and quickly started making small talk with others. Then, she walked in with her friends. Our lives forever changed. She held her class books in her right arm, along with a small paperback novel. Her black-framed glasses screamed nerd, but she was a stunner underneath her winter jacket. She sat down with her friends, just a table over. They laughed and talked about homework from their chemistry class. Kodiak leaned in to listen and was hooked like a fish. He was no longer present with me. He eavesdropped even more, to the point he was leaning into their space. She mentioned the words Greenpeace, and he was gone. He introduced himself, and the two of them hit it off. For Kodiak and me, she was pure splendor, like a white chocolate mocha. He asked for a date, and she said, yes. The next day, he paced back and forth with anxiety. He finally left to meet up with her at the movies. Around midnight, he returned to the dorm room with a story of young love. He told me everything about her that he had learned. His heart was full of romance, and he wanted her forever. He shared that she wanted to make a difference in the world, and she hoped to join Greenpeace or the Peace Corps after college. Over the next year, I got close to her as well, since she was always staying the night. Our friendship flourished, and my desire to be more than friends grew. However, Kodiak was her boyfriend. But one day, she broke it off. They fought, and it was an ugly fight. I happened to walk in on the fight at the epic point when Kodiak cursed and went back to his bedroom. I stood by the door, not knowing if I should leave. She walked past me to collect her belongings. She paused and placed her right hand over my heart, leaned in, and whispered with tears in her eyes, "Sorry, but this has to end. She never forgave him for what he said to her, and I, sadly, was collateral damage. Things turned odd after college. Kodiak and I kept contact, but I knew that losing her was not easy. Kodiak decided that he would try his hand at teaching math in high school. He lasted 1 year before resigning, citing boredom. He needed something new and exciting. I told him about an Air Force program where one goes from civilian to pilot, and how I was 8 months into it. He was accepted and went on to become an Air Force Pavehawk pilot. His ability to fly was clearly noted, and he competed and earned a coveted spot to fly the new Skyhawks. He was stationed in England and Germany with the Air Force elites. His flight hours all had excellence marks, but his command worried about his ability to manage others. He was never questioned as to whether he could fly, just lead others in the day-to-day flight operations. As a result, he did not make the promotion list and was given his pink slip. Without losing all of his active duty time for retirement, he transferred to the Air Guard, which allowed him to keep his retirement years going. About this time, I was transitioning from the active component to the Guard, and ironically, we both transferred into the Alaska Air Guard in the same month. Here we are, best buds, former roommates, now pilots, serving our country and the state of Alaska. And yet, with all that we have been through and know about one another, our friendship seesaws on divorce during this present-day rescue mission. I watched Kodiak interact with the survivors and wished that he would come over and help me. Just a simple inspection of my Swiss seats will do, and maybe some small talk. Because if anything, I would like to ask him about Kay, who, due to some divine irony, has the name as his lost love, our lost love. If only Kay from college would have given Kodiak a second chance. I finished tightening the last Swiss seat, and I look at my marvelous work. While the Swiss seats are a little messy, they should do the trick. I revisit the knots tied by Luca and Maggie on the cable line to ensure their strength. The idea of the knots on the line is to, hopefully, help as a brake for the harness. With the speed of travel due to weight and height, I expect that some survivors will reach speeds of 30 miles per hour as they travel down the 100-foot extended cable. This poses a high risk, but, as in combat, there is a measure that must be taken to save lives. As one commander shared with me, there is no perfect solution, Fox. Each plan carries with it considerable cons that when weighed will continue to make each plan the better plan. These thoughts help give me some guidance, as I have to decide what is best. Because at the moment, I have 10 minutes of fuel, no communication with headquarters, and the need of immediate medical attention for Mr. Rustikov. I stand up, relax, and put my hands into my pockets. Somehow, in all the ensuing chaos, my pockets became filled with dirt, most likely from last night's rescue mission. I shake them out, and loose dirt falls out, along with my name badge. I forgot I had put it there after giving my jacket to Luca. I pick up my dirty name badge and wipe it. I look at the back and read, so that others may live. I hope I can live up to the motto. I walk back to the campfire. The lingering smell of smoke fills the open air. I approach the gathering with a swagger like Kodiak. They seem not to even notice my entrance to their circle. Hello everyone. The group turns and looks at me. I try to speak with some wordy language. I just want to keep everyone informed, every good person here, where we stand at this juncture. It's imperative for this moment that we are all on the same page. Most of the group chooses to not actively listen. Side conversations from just about everyone derail my train of thought. The young toddler is doing cartwheels and having the time of her life, playing in the grass. The group appears to be in a good mood, and yet many of them have lost someone in the last 24 hours. I try to give instructions, but many of the survivors stare at me, like I am disturbing their party. I speak for minutes and at great detail about what we have to get right at the cliff. Without anyone really paying attention, I leave it at a question. Okay, does everyone understand? The group oddly stares and smiles back. I expected several questions, so I re-announce the key talking points. Again, 3 survivors go first, then the rest will be shuttled down by harnesses, utilizing a makeshift zip line. So, again, up first is K +1 and Mr. Rustikov. So, is everyone good? No one has any final concerns.
Nope. I think we got it. We just follow your commands and we will be safe.
Kodiak grins with cockiness. Kay raises her hand. I ask her, oh yes, what question do you have, Kay?
I think the group all agrees. You are doing a great job and we trust your better judgment. Just tell us where and when and we will make it happen.
You see, we all good.
I give Kodiak a brief, hard stare, fueled by angered resentment. I do not approve of his condescending behavior, but I have nothing to back up my authority other than the military rank between us. I loudly announce for everyone to hear. We move out in 5 minutes. I try not to pout and be a sore loser. I walk back over to the gear and double-check my knots. I review my notes, detailed with pictures, and plan for the worst and what other scenarios might transpire. I want us to survive, not some, but all. Kay walks over.
Major Glass, sorry about the group. They can be pills.
You are right, Kay.
It's a tough crowd indeed. Just show them kindness and simple direction, like our airline pilots. Passengers do not care about the flight plans or the constant interruptions over the loudspeaker. How often did you tune out the pilot or flight attendant when they gave out pre-flight safety instructions?
True. Very true.
Just get the passengers there. And frankly, they are hungry, cold, and in need of real sleep. Emotions are high. Forgive me, but Major Glass, I should not be alive. But you saved me and that little girl. I am forever grateful to your crew and to your third crew member. I have not asked you and I feel terrible. Maybe it's a fault of my own to put his name to his face, but please tell, what was his name?
Oh, you mean our PJ? His name was Kit.
What was he like?
He was soft-spoken, young, a little cocky as a swimmer, but not like Kodiak. He had a strong faith and talked about his mother often. He would be happy to see you here, alive and well. I know that he is smiling from above, and, if it makes you feel better, he would have traded his life for any mother.
Thank you for sharing. Let me help you. What the passengers are wanting to hear is, now boarding for rescue. Those words could perk up this group. Whenever you are ready, we are ready. I can manage this group. It is just like the airlines. I will go ahead and grab the girl and stand by the basket.
She walks off. Kay returns in no time with the young girl, who looks tired and ready to nap. She informs me,
I said a little prayer for you. Be careful. I hope to see you soon on the deck of that boat in one piece.
I would like that very much, but I do have to share that we can't go with you. We can't leave our helicopter. As you know, big no-no.
Gotcha. And question, should I give Kodiak his jacket back? I hope that this is not our last encounter.
Nah, keep the jacket. Knowing that you are safe means our mission is complete.
Will you miss us?
Yes, for sure. Maybe, once this is all settled, you and I should catch up.
One day you will have to visit me and my family in England. Coffee would be nice. Maybe some Starbucks. I do like their coffees, and if Kodiak comes, it will be a treat.
My heart skips a beat. I stare back due to the irony. Her words are strangely comforting. We cover more than a few lines of dialogue without uttering a word. I feel like we are lost souls or old friends.
Well, let's not end it here. Come here, give me a hug. I have to thank my rescuer.
We hug it out until she breaks away, knowing I have to keep on schedule. I reply, okay, wait here. Let me get Mr. Rustikov. I visit Mr. Rustikov, who will ride in the basket. He is priority number 1. He rests against the helicopter, still wrapped in the blanket. His cat sleeps in a perfect pose. Mr. Rustikov, how are you doing?
Fox, I am doing better.
Good, good. Mr. Rustikov, are you up to being first today?
I will try. What do I have to do?
Nothing. Just take a ride inside the basket.
Oh, fun. Who gets this kind of adventure at the age of 99? I have to say, Fox, that you are doing a fine job, and thank you for rescuing me, both yesterday and last night. So, young man, how are you handling all of this excitement?
Much better. You hang tight. John and I will give you a hand to the ledge where the basket rests. We will be taking off in a second. I change the topic on purpose. I whistle for Kodiak. He ignores my whistles, creating an awkwardness as I stand and wait. His lapse in hearing forces me to call out his name as if I was his mother. He finally waves his hand and acknowledges my call. He walks over to us. As he approaches, I feel the need to say something. Kodiak, you know that.
Just stop right there, will you? I know you are the boss and have more rank, but relax. I got this and you know it.
Kodiak, you cannot.
Fox, chill out. You know I am a better pilot than you, so chill out. You want me to pilot this thing or not?
Kodiak, but I cannot.
You sound muffled. Let go of whatever it is making you mad. Can't live life being all wound up.
I turn my body to confront his negative behavior. Kodiak starts up the helicopter. The rotors start to turn, and debris gets kicked up. I try to talk over the noise, but Kodiak shakes his head, suggesting he cannot hear me. The party is over. Each second the engines are on reduces flight time. No time to stall. We need to fly over to the boat, drop the basket, and then fly back to the cliffside. I call for John, and we speed along to help carry Mr. Rustikov over to the basket, which had been previously pulled back up. We place him long ways in the basket. Kay and the little girl join, sitting uncomfortably with knees to chest. Mr. Rustikov needs the space. The cat also joins the fray. Kay zips up Mr. Rustikov's ragged and torn jacket, allowing the cat to hide inside. Mr. Rustikov folds his hands over his heart to hold his cat to his chest. I give them a thumbs up. Take care, everyone. Many blessings. Behind us, Kodiak throttles the engines up, and the helicopter lifts a foot off the ground and hovers. The rotors accelerate in speed and make the distinguishable whop, whop, whop sound. I run back along the cable line and jump in where Kit would have sat. Kodiak gives me a thumbs up and I reply with the same gesture. He slowly lifts vertically, allowing the cable line to stretch out. I sit in the back, looking down out the door. Kodiak turns the rear tail rotor and engages his pedals for forward thrust, and off we go to the SMD. I look down below and see our 3 passengers in the basket. I can only imagine their hearts are racing as they fly over the ocean. To conserve fuel for drop-off, we fly with the cable line extended to the near maximum length. Up ahead floats the SMD with her black and white trim. A large sign tangled in debris knocks against their front hull. The sign is blue and yellow with a bear on it. I read the words, Bartlett High School, Golden Bears. It is a sad sight, since that high school is right outside the military base, only confirming my fear that the base is completely underwater. I turn my attention back to Kodiak, who signals for landing assistance. I help guide him over the drop-off spot on the SMD's bow. As we zero in, Kodiak inches us forward to a perfect measurement to drop off our payload. He steadies the helicopter and gives me a thumbs-up sign for go. I lower the basket the final 10 feet, which extends the cable line to its maximum, a very dangerous act. Over the front bow of the boat, the mariners react. One particularly small man appears in an orange wetsuit. The mariners grab the basket and then lock it down to the deck next to their crane. Our 3 survivors are helped out of the basket. Kay and the little girl scurry away, and Mr. Rustikov is carried to the fishing cages by the mariners. The mariners then remove the basket and attach the cable line to the far side of the crane's arm. All looks good, and according to plan, we pull off and fly back to the cliffside. My nerves spike as I can tell from this viewpoint that the Earth does not look stable. The next task is quite dangerous, and I hope the Earth holds. In order to accomplish the mission, we have to carefully land on the very edge of the cliff and trust the Earth holds. All the while, hoping to not break our cable line, which is tethered and secured to the ship. We are flying with an anchor, the SMD. All it would take is the wrong tension, such as our cable box breaking or the line fraying, for a catastrophic failure of mission. Maybe my rescue plan is a little too movie-like. I look at the helicopter screen on the back display to read our line measurement. It reads 250 feet out. With these measurements, we have to be precise, as we only have 250 feet of cable. Kodiak carefully maneuvers the helicopter back into position on the cliff. He lands it with only feet of separation between us and the cliffside. Kodiak executes the task flawlessly. We land, and he turns off the engines. I open the oceanside helicopter door and see that we have about 4 feet of separation before plummeting down into the ocean. I cautiously tap the ground with my toe as if I was the final straw. The ground holds, and maybe this crazy plan might work. Total trip time was 3 minutes and 30 seconds, leaving us around 6 minutes of remaining fuel, nothing to spare. I adjust the cable line to create the desired tension needed for our makeshift zip line from our helicopter to the deck of the SMD. The desired goal is 245 feet. Kodiak places us at 246 feet. He is, indeed, a great pilot. I check the cable box, and everything looks good. I look out and down and realize that I forgot to factor in the movement of the ship. I only gave 5 feet of movement length on the cable line. The issue is that, while we might not be moving, the ship might. If so, the SMD will easily pull us off this ledge. I begin to realize that we need to act rather quickly, while the water below seems to be calm. I call back over the radio to the SMD and give them a warning that the first rider is going out in about 5 mics, a term we like to use in the military to shorten the word minutes. The skipper acknowledges and replies that his crew is on the ready. I ask Kodiak for help with the rope harnesses, but he replies that he needs to run final numbers on our fuel shortage in case there is an emergency in the water with offloading survivors. I redirect my attention to the group. I call the survivors over to hand them their ropes harnesses. They happily greet me. They had watched Kay, the toddler, and Mr. Rustikov fly through the air. Maggie shares she captured a photo with her phone. I take a look at the photo. It was epic, a photo to be framed if we survive. I continue to work, but Maggie talks to me nonstop. I patiently look over as she flips through photos on her phone. I don't think she realizes we are short on time, but maybe she is just very nervous, and this is her way of controlling a tension-filled situation. She shows me a few more photos from yesterday. She had actually captured all of us around the campfire. There was one shot, a candid photo, with everyone smiling with berries in hand. I hope to have a copy one day. These all look good, I reply. Thank you for capturing these shots. Okay, now group. The survivors stand around me in a horseshoe and wait for my directions. I contemplate who I will send first, knowing that someone has to be the test dummy. I understand that their lives literally hang on the cable line. I proposition out loud. I have 4 Swiss harnesses. John, Mary, twins, come take one. Maggie and Luca, you will be using one of our Air Force dual rescue harnesses. I point to the only adult man. John, I ask that you go first. He looks afraid. He replies,
This is going to work, right? I don't have to worry about being in the water?
Correct. You have nothing to worry about.
Bloody hell then, suit me up.
No, you shouldn't go first. You should be a man and wait. Do you have it in you to wait?
The group looks back at John and waits for his reaction. Up to this point, Mary has rarely spoken. Her silence is most likely due to the loss of her husband. I am confused as to why she is making this a big deal. She explodes into anger and begins to shout.
There you go, John. Always caring only about yourself. Always first. What do you have to say about that, John Edwin McGrady?
Yeah, Mom. You tell him what a clown he really is. He still hasn't told us the truth.
I can tell that John really wanted to go down the zip line, but Mary had something on his free will. His hesitation is expressed all over his face. John slouches his shoulders and steps back.
I am not going first. The others are lighter. I don't want to possibly endanger their lives.
His defeated face expresses full rejection. I look around the group and ask, Okay, then, how about you, Fan?
Me go. Yes, house.
Let's not wait. You two come with me. Everyone else, please wait by the fire pit. I just have to ensure that we have separation from the cliffside. The helicopter is quite heavy, and it is just an extra precaution. Fan and Ying-Ying, let's walk and talk. We get to the helicopter, and I look Fan over for any deficiencies. I have Fan tuck her sweater away before I ensure her Swiss seat is secured. Once the inspection is complete, I ask her if she has any questions. She does not. I move her into the helicopter, where I secure the D-hook from her Swiss rope harness to the zip line. Ying shows concern, peering into the helicopter. Ying asks,
How does this cable line work? Is she going to hitch the boat? My sister okay, then?
The cable line is fastened to the crane, creating a natural V. So, when you go, you will descend to the boat, hit the check mark, ride up the line attached to the extended crane, and then naturally slow back down onto the deck. Everything will be okay. Fan slightly shakes. I look her in the eyes. Fan, you are a strong woman. I need for you to be brave and go. Be a good sister for Ying. Fan leans in and kisses my lips.
You hero me go. Yes, no, love you.
Let's get you down there. She follows my final instructions and is encouraged by her sister. Fan steps outside the helicopter, onto the other side, where she then sits down on her buttocks. She turns her head, her whole body is shaking. Ying steps forth inside the helicopter. She passes words of encouragement on to her sister. Fan turns and faces the ocean. The clouds are few and the air temperature is around 55 degrees. We can feel the morning sun. Not many days like this left in the year. Winter hides around the corner. A tingle of orange from the sun hits the water, creating a reflection that shoots up, causing us to turn our heads due to the glare. Fan scoots on her buttocks the final inches to the ledge. She embraces the view and looks over the cliffside. She shakes her head in fear, but Ying continues to press her with reassurance. Fan nods her head and looks forward, focusing on the descent. She clenches her fingers into the dirt, takes a deep breath, and pushes off. The action is fast. I was not expecting that. She disappears, and I sprint over to the side. I look for Fan and see her zip-lining down. Her speed is unsafe, but checked by the safety measures of the brake ties. Within 20 seconds, Fan rockets down the zip line. She reaches the SMD bow, where she whizzes past the deckings. Her momentum carries her upwards, along the outstretched arm of the crane. She reaches the end of the cable line and rocks back, almost like a theme park ride. She retreats onto the Santa Maria Dolphin's deck, and all is safe. The mariners release her, and she waves her hand. She falls to her knees on the deck and pukes. I think to myself, hopefully no one saw that. I call out, next up. Ying looks at me.
You can see better than me. Is she okay?
Oh yeah, nothing to worry about. Best to get your harness on. I head back to the group at the fire pit and see that Kodiak is already preparing the next riders. He is on his knees, adjusting the straps on Maggie. Kodiak looks up at me and says,
Here you go. I did something of use. I got some figures for you on our fuel.
And
Sorry to say, but we probably only have minutes left.
no bueno.
No bueno.
No, wait, no.
In unison, Kodiak, Maggie, and I all eye one another and respond as one. No bueno.
It's a good thing we got the SMD here to help.
We nod our heads up and down. They are eager to leave the cliff and be rescued. Kodiak hands me Maggie and Luca, who hug their mother goodbye. I triple-check their black dual harness, but it is one of our professional rescue harnesses. All looks good. All right, guys, follow me. We step into the helicopter where I hook them up to the cable line. It's now on you. Just need for you to step out and sit down gently, but be very careful as you scoot your booties to the ledge. They follow directions and proceed. They sit down, shoulder to shoulder, and scoot their booties to the edge. Luca pauses, and Maggie tries to encourage him. I lean out of the helicopter. It will be fine. Trust me, on the count of 3. Luca stops me short and asks,
Will you look after the group?
His question catches me off guard. Always, I respond. Now, go. Make sure to tell your mother you love her when she comes down. She really needs it. I look at them and give them a thumbs up. Maggie grabs a hold of her brother's hand and squeezes. I nod my head. Okay, now, ready. 1, 2. Maggie jumps the count early and pushes off. Luca flops over the cliffside, and they disappear. I step out onto the ledge to see the two of them spin violently down the cable line. I watch in dismay, and my heart sinks. The hair on my neck stands. The cable line sways back and forth. The line holds but rips a breaking knot which flutters down into the ocean below. The siblings spin in tight circles over the debris that fills the bay, much of it lost treasure that will eventually sink, to be only a footnote in the chapter of anchorage. I stay present the whole 20 seconds and watch. Maggie and Luca spin to the boat recklessly. They pass the deck's bow and reach the extended arm of the crane, where their momentum slows. They reach the end of the cable line and then retreat back down to the deck. It is hard to make out their tiny bodies from this vantage point, but all seems well. Now to wait for a signal. The sailors quickly detach the children. It appears they are okay, as Maggie throws 2 hands in the hair, probably shaken, but not injured. I do wonder, however, if the cable line will hold. I still have 3 riders left: Mary, John, and Ying Ying. I return to the fire pit. John and Mary seem to be having a quarrel, but pause. Mary asks,
How did they do?
They did good, really good. I lie, I do not want to frighten her. Kodiak motions to me and says,
I got her set up for you.
Thank you. I take Mary and walk her out to the helicopter. We step inside and I rig her up to the cable line.
Just one thing before I go.
She leans out the door and calls out,
Hey, John, fuck you!
Wow, you okay, Mary?
Better. I have been waiting to say that for some time, just did not need the kids to hear.
That was pretty loud. I think they heard. She smiles back. We step out onto the other side. She can see the SMD and her children, who wave back. She leans into my chest and places her palm on my name tag. She looks up at me.
I can't tell you enough how thankful I am for you saving my family.
It is a part of the job. No thanks needed. Now, let's get you on your way to see your babies. She gives me a hug and stares out before sitting down on her buttocks. She edges out, leaving dirt marks on her dress. She stares over the ledge with her feet dangling.
Here I come, kids.
She leans back and then slings herself forward down the line. Everything shifts and I fall to my knees. Tremors rip underneath the ground.
Earthquake, earthquake, earthquake!
The ground underneath me sinks several inches, then another several inches. I look left, I look right. The edge of the cliff starts to collapse. I take off in a sprint, running away from the cliffside. Kodiak races past me, and I halt in the middle, between the helicopter and the fire pit. Kodiak jumps into the cockpit, powers up the rotors, and screams back.
Let's go, let's go!
Ying Ying stands in panic by the fire pit. Then, all hell breaks loose. Behind her, the ground enclaves and vanishes. I yell out, Ying Ying, hurry, run this way. John runs over to her, grabs her by the arm, and pulls her. She freezes. He slaps her face and abruptly throws her over his shoulder. He runs full speed with Ying Ying, unevenly weighted on his right shoulder. Hurry, I shout. I pause between them and the helicopter. John runs with Ying Ying beating his back. He hurdles his way over, quickly making pace. His glasses fall to the bridge of his nose. He stops and scolds Ying Ying. He slaps her face again and points his finger before leaving her. He sprints to us. The earth shakes again, causing the trees in the distance to literally combust into sawdust. The smell of sulfur is everywhere, and a small red pool forms in the ground to my right. John looks at me as I block his path to the helicopter. I yell out to him, "What about
Screw
you?"
her, let's go!
We can't leave her.
Bollocks, let her die or we all die!
I sprint forth, Ying Ying screams in frozen terror. My feet move swiftly. I do not even feel the grass. I run on the air to reach her and bring her back. I reach her. There is no time, Ying Ying. We have to go. The ground disappears behind her, and red bubbles begin to burst forth from behind. I realize now that it's lava. I grab her arm and pull her. She runs with me, sobbing. Her black and white sneakers slap against the grass. I look forward. Kodiak waves empathically. He signals to rush. The ground rocks back and forth. I take my eyes off the helicopter for a second and scan to our right and left. The cliff starts to break off, A cracked line begins to form in the earth from the cliffside and race to our location. I watch as it zigzags. The line breaks left, then right, then runs straight. It heads to the helicopter. Ying, please keep going. The ground gives way. We are too late. The helicopter plummets before our eyes. I see the body of the helicopter vanish, and the blades now rotate where the ground used to be. Ying hugs me and falls to my waistline. She cries out hysterically. A red poppy flower on her gray turtleneck seems to wilt. Ying throws her head into my chest.
I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die.
I close my eyes. We embrace to die in each other's arms. I hear the rotors pitch in a high frequency. I know this sound. I know it in my sleep. I have heard it thousands of times. I reopen my eyes and peer straight ahead. It is the sound of lifting rotor blades. The helicopter reappears. Kodiak wrestles with the controls. He is still attached to the SMD and fighting the crosswinds. He has only 5 feet of wiggle room. He pulls up on the throttle and maneuvers as far as he can to us, with the cable line still attached. The cliff is all but gone, leaving just a tiny fragment of earth beneath our feet that places us on an island of swaying dirt. The pedestal of dirt begins to arch over as propeller wash beats us with whipping winds. I hunker over Ying to block her from being blown over and into the sea. The helicopter hoovers and the left side skid is only feet away from our spot. I yell out we have to jump off. The helo can't get any closer. The rotor's noise suppresses my voice, but Ying nods her head in understanding. She grabs my hand and squeezes tight. We crouch, lean back, and jump forward. Our feet land on the helicopter's skid. We both lose our balance and begin to fall backwards. I spin over to Ying and shove her weight in to save her. The force causes me to fall backwards, and I reach out in desperation. John catches me by my wrist and pulls me in.
You will owe me for saving your life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
A life for a life.
I close the door and look back. The tiny island of ground gives way. Once a cliffside, now nothing. The earth crumbles down into a red, spewing lava bowl. The ocean splashes over, and the red turns black, with heavy steam spewing up. My emotions get the better part of me, but no one notices how my eyes begin to tear up. Kodiak spins his head and shouts, but I cannot hear him. His hands shake violently, trying to hold the helicopter steady. Ying leans over and yells into my ear over the rotor noise.
Catch loose the line.
What?
The cable. Catch loose the line.
I look and realize that the cable line is dangerously torqued, causing the Santa Maria, Dolphin's bow to bobble and Kodiak to lose control of the helicopter. The line is at 250 feet of length. I pop open the safety box and see push in case of emergency. Well, I guess this is an emergency. I press the red circle button. The cable line cuts loose and flies down to the ocean's surface, where it slices into the water. Blue-greenish water sprays out in all directions, splashing water onto the decks of the SMD from its high velocity. I throw on Kit's helmet and grab my black life jacket, which is strapped behind my pilot's seat. I hook it around my neck and inflate it. I grab the other life jacket, inflate it, and give it to Ying. Put it on. She does not hesitate and puts it on over her gray sweater. John gazes over in anger. His look scares me. I head up front and reach over Kodiak. I call over the radio to the SMD. SMD, immediate extraction time now. No fuel left. We are going down. I look over at Kodiak and radio. What do we do now? Kodiak does not answer back. Our situation is dire. At best, we have 5 minutes of fuel. Our options are limited. Our lives are in Kodiak's hands. The ocean moves below. Immense cracks on the water's surface separate the water. It looks as if someone had taken Thor's hammer and cracked the entire ocean. Horrendous squeals penetrate up and out of the ocean depths. Bubbles burst forth from the ocean with great power. Fish, both large and small, pop up dead. They plague the surface in the thousands. The birds have a feast. I even see spy to beluga whales resting belly up. Whatever is happening is also causing fish to die. Kodiak races forward. His objective is clear. Get to the boat. We veer away from the imploding cliffside. From our elevation, I can make out the mariners on board our rescue ship. They move about like ants with purpose and direction. Their timing is impeccable. They set about to quickly move a sailor in an orange life suit to the front of the ship. As we travel over the ocean, the boat's name, Santa Maria Dauphin, becomes readable with its white lettering.
Hey, Fox, look at Santa Maria Dauphin.
Yeah, what about it?
Don't you get it?
No, I do not get it.
It's divine. It means St. Mary's eldest son.
I still do not get it.
Mother Mary had a son who was named
Mary, like in the Bible. So, I guess, Jesus.
Yes, Fox. Jesus. You see it now? Jesus. Read it again.
I look back down, but my attention is broken by the helicopter's emergency alarm. Bright lights and sirens ring out inside the helicopter. A loud pop comes from the engines, and all the gauges turn red. Every light on the instrument panel begins to flash due to lack of fuel. The helicopter begins to shake in the air as it loses power. I look over at John, who huddles against the other side. His unnerving position reveals his fear. Kodiak descends the aircraft immediately and slows down. He flies over the front bow. My nerves are racing as I wonder, does Kodiak have a plan? Can he land this thing on a boat? Down below, the mariners run around. They quickly move about trying to read the situation and decide how to react. Kodiak rotates the tail rotor and we spin. We head to the back of the boat and hover about 5 feet above the fishing pots that are on the back part of the ship. John leans over and hits me on my leg and he yells out,
Are we going to land?
I shake my head, no, and look back up front where I see Kodiak doing his best. He throttles up and down, keeping the same distance as the boat churns left to right in the choppy water. His skills are poetry in motion. He raises his right hand and rotates it in a circle. I look over at the group and relay his hand movement commands. We have to jump.
Wait, what?
What are you waiting for? Get me off this thing.
John pushes around Ying and edges to jump out. The helicopter begins to tilt on its side, causing John to struggle upwards to the open door. John reaches the door and hangs his head out. He moves to jump, but the helicopter yanks hard right. John bounces off the door frame, falls backward, and hits his head against the metal seat. His glasses fly wildly. I look at Ying and yell, You have to go. Fear and panic set in, and I see her freeze. Kodiak repositions the helicopter and levels her out. The crosswinds do not help. I pull Ying by the arm and point down. Jump down onto the cages if you want to see your sister again. She looks over, but shakes her head. I yell into her ear, If you love your sister, jump. The wind whips her hair into her face. Kodiak turns his head and gives me his signature stare.
Go now! Now go, my brother!
The helicopter yanks hard right again. Ying falls forward and outward. She ricochets off the door and cascades over the skids of the helicopter, then plunges down. She face plants onto the crabbing pots, but her life vest softens the blow. She moves about slowly and blankly looks back up. She is okay. The lights turn off inside the helicopter and the rotors begin to slow. The helicopter loses power and banks left, and we nosedive. Kodiak regains control and we level out in a stall, just meters above the ocean swells. The engines power up and down. I know Hilawan must be out of fuel by now. I regain balance and lean out the door to see if John could still jump out. I am unsure what Kodiak can do. There is a loud. The engines puff and white smoke bellows out. John lunges forward to jump out of the helicopter at the last second, but his efforts are useless. The rotors turn off and Helo 1 tilts back and makes a nose-up position. It then seesaws, and we plunge face forward and down into the water. Water crashes inside the helicopter. Immediately, the door slides forward and slams against my forearm, causing it to jam. I try to pull back on the door, but it does not budge. John moves to exit through the other side door. John, help me, please, I cry out. I try to dislodge the door, but its weight seals against me. John, please. He apprehensively looks at me and moves toward me. The door is biting through my uniform and starts to cut off circulation. John reaches me and wrestles for my life vest. No, John, I struggle with him. He splashes ocean water into my eyes, causing intense, burning pain.
Out of my way.
Mercy, John. Water pours into the helicopter, causing our chance of escape to narrow. John reaches to his pant leg and pulls out Kit's knife. John, you don't have to.
Maybe not, but I am not dying today.
He stabs the knife deep into my belly. He looks me in the eyes and says,
Sorry, mate.
A writhing pain fills my belly, piercing my abdominal muscles. John then pulls the knife out and lets it drop. I double over, and my breath labors. He grabs a hold of my life vest and snaps it off. With excruciating breaths, I utter, Please, save, Kodiak, please. John leans down, pats my back, and, without any emotion, he responds.
Good luck.
He opens the door, freeing my trapped arm. The incoming water hits me and sends me to the back cabin of the helicopter. I scream out in pain, Please, peace, my friend. John returns his gaze to me. I utter out one more time, Please save Kodiak.
Then you go save him.
He hits the fire button. Canisters of fire suppressant discharge by my ears and at the front by Kodiak. Plumes of white fire retardant spill out into a thick cloud, drying out the oxygen left inside the cabin. John recklessly swims away to the SMD. He splashes about. It is evident he cannot swim. The water around my chest turns murky red. The pain mounts inside my belly. Ocean water fills the cabin, and the helicopter begins to list. The weight of the helicopter is 16,000 pounds, and I know that my death will be soon, unless a miracle happens. Water collects inside at rapid rate. I move forward and wade through the water. A white, misty cloud obscures some of my view. I make my way to Kodiak, who slumps over at the controls. I reach to unlock his helmet. The helicopter rolls, and I am ripped out of the helicopter through the open door. The water pulls me out to the top rotor blade, and I spin down the blade to the end. Debris chunks in the water stop me from drifting off. Feelings sweep through me and leave me in exhaustion as I watch John, without regard to our lives, make it to the orange life raft. His behavior, however, does not deter me from what I must do. I take a deep breath and exhale. This sole action causes excruciating pain, like nothing I've experienced in my life. With the cold water temperatures, it will not take long before my muscles seize up and I drown. However, I gauge the distance over to the orange life raft. Sailors on top of the vessel see me and react to my freedom of movement. I have the energy to save myself, but this is not about me. One sheep, Kodiak, one sheep. My heavy flight boots pull me down, causing me to fight a downwards pull. The pain intensifies, but I have Kodiak still in the helicopter. The helicopter floats aggressively on her left side in the water. Forgetting the pain, I head back. I stroke and I stroke. The current puts up a resistance. The helicopter seems to be escaping me, but the hand of God reinforces my stroke. I stroke again and again. I labor, but I pull myself along the rotor. I feel the hard-to-find metallic blade. It is sharp and cuts into my hands, but it is my only source of maintaining contact with the helicopter. I drag myself along the rotor blade and travel from one end to the other. At the top, near the helicopter's nose, I take a deep breath. My cheeks puff out like a chipmunk, inhaling as much oxygen as I can. A wave hits us. I lose contact with the rotor and splash frantically. The helicopter returns upright. Why should it be so hard? I splash about. A second wave hits me and propels me forward, sending me straight into the gray-painted door with the lettering, so that others may live. I open my cockpit door with little effort. Water spills in, causing the helicopter to list upwards, so that only a small section is still above water. I doggy paddle over the pilot seat to Kodiak. He dangles in the water, but is restrained by his seatbelt. Water fills the entire cockpit up to Kodiak's chin. White fire suppressant creates traces of white lines in the water. There, Kodiak rests, slumped over as if he were drunk. I try to lift him, but he is pinned to his chair. His helmet is caught, and so is his seatbelt, pinning him to the seat. I unclip his helmet. His hair floats softly in the water. I press the emergency release latch for his seatbelt, and Kodiak's lifeless body floats up into my arms, but his right boot is trapped. The water pools around our bodies. Its icy touch chills down to the bone. Water now fills the helicopter to our necks. We gotta go, I tell an unresponsive Kodiak. Large popping sounds fill the air all around, indicating Helo 1 is ready to sink at any second. I look at Kodiak and embrace him. I love you, friend. I always loved you. I take a final breath for good measure. This is our goodbye. The helicopter violently rolls. The water overtakes our heads, and we are submerged. We are clearly dying. I am disoriented and dizzy. My heartbeat slows. Blood droplets kick their way past my eyes, a reminder of my wound. I look for light and see the back door wide open. I hug tightly to Kodiak's body and wrap my arms around him so that my fingers interlock. I squat and lunge upwards. His body and feet break free from the chair. We accelerate rearward to the back of the helicopter and exit through the open side door. Kit's helmet floats past, reminding me of his early departure from this world. I could really use his swimming abilities right now. Kodiak and I exit the rear door, but stall. We float together as if we were in space. I look at the door and see the visible red cross. I plant my feet against the red cross and push off, creating a few meters of space between us and the helicopter. The force creates a plunging effect on the helicopter. Helo 1 then barrels down. It furiously sinks, nose first. I look down at our feet as Helo 1 descends to the ocean's floor. Its rear rotor blade barely misses us. Helo 1 goes to her grave without the proper dignity or memorial for her service. Too soon to die. I latch onto Kodiak's belt and hook it with my hand. I see a light coming from the top side of the water's surface. It simmers and retracts a sunny glow. My eyes begin to close. The energy used to this point was achieved at all costs. I feel a shove against my back, a shove again. The feeling of help and a warming sensation envelops me. It sends tingles down my spine, and the small hairs on my neck and arms stand stiff. The feeling is engulfing. I feel as though friends await me. We rise and rise some more. We break the water's surface, and Kodiak is still unconscious. The smell of salt water in the air hits my lungs, so that I cough violently. I turn Kodiak onto his back and use the training from the PJs to now save my friend. I slowly flutter, kick my legs, all the while trying to maintain air. Waves hit my face, making it almost impossible to breathe. Kodiak's body weight pulls me down, causing me to strain. I push him up as I forego oxygen. I do not have much time. Wake up, Kodiak. I need you. Please, please, please. Don't die on me. I love you. My muscles become soft as the cold saps their remaining strength. My belly erupts gases. A nasty odor and stain of discoloration forms around my belly, creating a circle of mixed foam and reddish bubbles. I am exhausted of all life. I lift my head back, breathing in the cold Alaskan air for what might be my last breath, but the minutes seem long before my death. Familiar voices spill over into my ears as I hear shouts of rescue coming from the ship. I feel as though I narrate my own death. I hold Kodiak in my arms, as if we were posing for a prom photo. He rests on top of me as I balance the both of us. I keep him afloat. The waves rock us up and down. Seawater spatters against my eyes, causing a burning pain. Out in the ocean, I see another house drifting aimlessly. I talk to Kodiak and say, "Hey, you see the house? It kinda looks yellow. Maybe one day, you or I will have a house like that, but you gotta stay alive." He provides no response. I hold him tighter, and he floats lifelessly. We are just two men in an ocean who never use the word love, but share a unique friendship. If only the past could. A round, white lifesaver slaps the water next to my ear. It breaks my attention, and I refocus. I grab a weak hold and lift Kodiak's arm into the lifesaver. I offload his weight, but I feel the drag of the ocean pulling me down. My arms splash about recklessly, without any real sense of direction. They quickly wear out and fall to my side. My strength is gone. I lift my head back and I bite the rope that encircles the lifesaver around Kodiak's arm. It's the only thing that I can do. Its white cord feels like splintered glass. I do not let go. My teeth clench down. The crew pulls on the lifesaver, causing my lips to bleed from the abrasiveness of the rope. "Don't let go," they scream. My arms dangle behind me, useless extremities. The crew pulls me in like a dropped anchor. The lifesaver moves through the water, and I sense the vessel behind my head. My eyes begin to close. Ocean water pours into my ears and mouth. The salt water burns inside my knife wound, and blood pumps out of me with each heartbeat. Any second will be my last. A light seems to encircle above our heads. It zips around and penetrates us with its warmth. An orange-suited man splashes next to me. He pulls Kodiak off my side.
"Hold on!"
he says. My teeth hold on to the lifesaver, allowing my eyes to look up. I see a crane drop a metal hook, and seconds later, Kodiak rises up, suspended in the air. His lifeless body drips profusely, his mustache still in perfect form. The swimmer returns to me and helps me stay afloat. His body seems to emit a white glow, and his voice is heavenly.
"You can let go now."
The hook returns and takes me next. I depart the water. The crane maneuvers me over to Kodiak and slowly inches me down, gently setting me next to him, where sailors are quick to see if I have a pulse. I shiver as I feel their hands move about my neck and determine that I am breathing. They turn their attention to Kodiak, and all I can do is turn my head and stare. I feel something on my face. It drips down into my mouth. I taste it. It is my blood. I doubt anyone notices. Pain from inside my body shoots up. A gulp of air comes forth. It causes the pain to radiate from my knife wound into my spine. I flop my hand to my belly. I gently insert 2 numb fingers. It is severely deep. I pulled my icy fingers out and placed them in my pocket for warmth. I feel my name badge and clasp it in my palm. A large husky approaches and wags his tail. His breath smells and he is quickly called away by his master, but not before he licks my face. My eyes refocus and I view shoes in different shapes and colors. I slowly look up. The survivors gather around Kodiak. They each are safe, including John. I should be relieved and happy. That is 5 lives and a cat saved today. Maybe the nightmares will cease and I can finally get some real sleep. To my side, crew members race to perform chest compressions on Kodiak. His face is bloated purple and blue. Kay jumps in and demands,
"Let me try."
She tries to bring him back to life. She pumps his chest and hymns the Star Wars tune as she compresses. Kay works relentlessly, without a break. Tears stream down her face. In that moment, she almost looks like our Kay. She places her lips on him and blows air into his watered lungs. Kodiak has no response. John pulls her off and with anger says,
"It is no use. He is dead. Let him go."
She cries out loud and goes to hug the others in painful tears. Another mariner takes out a defibrillator and charges it onto Kodiak's chest. Shocks shoot forth violent electricity, causing his body to jump. I watch and feel hopeless. Kodiak is still unconscious. In my estimation, Kodiak has probably been without oxygen for 6 to 8 minutes. The mariners work to save his life. After minutes of trying and no response, the crew reluctantly gives up. Emotions of sadness are displayed by the survivors. The mariners hang their heads low in respect. Their mouths move about, and the silence of prayers rise. My eyes become vacant as life leaves me. A light at the end of the tunnel approaches. "Not yet," I say, in a low, painful whimper. I reach out my right hand and feel around, looking for Kodiak's hand. I reach about like a blind man probing the area until I feel his cold hand. I grab a hold of his hand and squeeze. I take a final deep breath and squeeze a little harder, pressing with what life I have left. "Cody, wake up. Cody, wake up. Cody, wake." The tunnel's light seizes me and my eyes close hard. I exhale my last breath. A light reappears in the tunnel and I open my sealed eyes. They move Kodiak onto his side and he coughs up water. I hear the crew in excitement give out happy cheers. Their cheers are met with hugs and kisses between the survivors and the crew.
He is alive!
This is incredible.
They are here because of you.
I fix my eyes towards him. Kodiak's face is vacant and flushed. He tries to gasp for air, with his eyelids sealed. I mumble, Cody, Cody. My words trail off, Cody. I state with a choking pain in my throat, you did it, you saved us. He responds with a soft mutter that is broken.
We earned our peace.
I peel open his tight palm to release his fingers. I place in his palm my name badge, Major Foxglass. I slowly say, I love you, Kodiak, that others may live. He chuckles in pain, clenching his fists in acknowledgement, and breathes deeply. He exhales and says,
Love you too. Proud of you, Fox.
I fully open my eyes, and we look at each other as we drift down, deeper into the water, where the depths meet the dead. There is no chance of our survival. Hello One will be our coffin, and we never made it out. I embrace his lifeless body, and we descend into the ocean's graveyard. I love you, Cody.